welcome to another episode of Bros Banter. This evening, we're doing a special evening interview with Chris from Virtually Human. Normally on Bros Banter, I have my other brother, Louis, the CEO of Invercio, and we just banter about various stuff. But we're doing a special episode, and we're diving into the metaverse. But we're diving into the metaverse yet, the race horsing metaverse. And I have Chris, like I said, from Virtually Human, and they're known for a premier game. Like, I've read your story, and it's just absolutely, completely insane. Like, I have a hard time putting, but it's probably my age. I have a hard time putting blocks together.
Yeah.
So tell us about Zedron, man. And
so
what's up? Like, how did you?
Yeah, awesome. I'll tell you. So my name is Chris Ebeling. I'm known as Ebs in the NFT, I guess, digital community. We're based out of Melbourne, Australia. I'm outside Sydney. I'm an hour north from Sydney, and Zedrun is a co-creation of 4 founders based in Australia. So the journey started with Chris, another Chris, I'll mind you, Chris Laurent, who is our CEO, and he was the brainchild of Zed. I'll give you a bit of background to that, as well as my own background in the digital space. Me and Chris and Rob, who's another co-founder, we used to work together. This is like 7 years ago. We did a little project together, a game that we tried to get off the ground, which almost turned into a feature film movie, which is still kind of brewing in the background. It's just one of those entrepreneurial things. So we knew each other from back then. In the meantime, I've been away. I've been working on digital film, games. That's my bag. So digital artist and feature film and AAA games. Chris has always been, Chris Laurent has always been an entrepreneur at heart, like always hustling, always scheming new ideas. And one day, I think the story goes, in 2017, he lives in this Hunter Valley district in Australia, which is a wine country and horse racing country. Chris at the time was working and doing research for a betting company in Australia and in the crypto space. So he was kind of well versed now with crypto kitties at the time. And the story goes, he walked into a Chinese takeaway, Mr. Yee's in Hunter Valley, and he saw, I'm going to make it very descriptive. He saw a poster on the wall, and there was a horse, and it said $20,000. And he's like, oh, $20,000 for a horse? That's interesting. And you look closer, and to his surprise, he saw that was the breeding fee. So with all the research that he had done and been, diving around in crypto kitties back then, was that, you buy a cute cat and you can pair it with another cute cat and you get a third cute cat through breeding. He was like, horse racing, democratizing horse racing, making everybody own a digital horse race and being able to breed, seeing the utility that's involved just based off that poster, and then also just thinking further. So he came up with an idea. He reached out to his co-collaborator, Rob Sala, who is our other co-founder as well. Those two have been,
thick as thieves.
They're thick as thieves, and they're like the, OG entrepreneurs behind this thing. And they came up. They started the idea. They generated this idea and started selling these vector images, not these beautiful 3D horses behind me, but these flat 2D images of horses, and just to kind of test the waters. And when they saw that people actually were buying these things and reselling them on the secondary market in promise of a game, like very Kickstarter-esque. You tell them you're going to build something in the future, but we need your investment up front, buy in early and you'll be a part of it. That's just the way it works right now. And you see it today. Now we're in the kind of, I'll let you talk now.
It's just like, I'm listening to all this, and like, I have a background, hey, believe it or not, my background is in anthropology, cultural anthropology, awesome. family and business, this and that. And I spent 10 years trading bonds, doing all sorts of financial stuff. Yeah. And honestly, right now, it is the most interesting time, like in the span from 2000 to now, the past 22 years. It's like right now it's just like a renaissance, but on a cultural level, on a business level. And anybody that's not in it are not even aware that it's happening. And it's just right now, just like what you're describing is you're 100% correct. Like business, if you got an idea and you've got people that are slightly tuned in to the outside world, they're going to be like, there's opportunity there.
Exactly.
Or the other people are going to be like, you're going to sell me a digital image of a horse, and they're going to be like, nah, man, you're doing meth.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the thing, man. Like, history repeats itself. We've been here before.
Yeah.
We've been here before, right? When the web internet was founded and came across, people were saying the same thing. I was saying that, like, what do I use this for? Same thing when the smartphone came across. I was like, I'm not getting a smartphone. Why do I need a computer in my pocket? Why would I need that? We all got one now, right? Like, so it's just a matter of time before everybody gets sucked into this Renaissance digital vortex, as you say, this digital Renaissance. And again, like, to your point, it's opportunity. Like, we're going into Web3 now, and Web3 is going to it's not changing Web 2 or Web 1, it's adding to it, right? What we're doing right now, that's Web 2, right? Podcasting, chatting on this stuff. And it's an opportunity that you and your co-founder have seized and made something of. The next level of that is now digital, fueled by blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and much, much more. AR, VR, we're stepping into a new world.
It's such a crazy world. Like, I was actually talking to, we have an intern. He just showed up today, and I'm telling him about the metaverse, and he's going, "Oh, the metaverse. Yeah, it's so new. It's so new." And you got to follow me down the rabbit hole, because there's a bit of a rabbit hole here. Yeah. I told him, "No, man. The metaverse has existed the day the Holy Roman Church started saying, you want to buy your sins, wash your sins, and buy your piece of heaven? We're going to take your money." And then Luther said, "Fuck that shit. I'm going to make my Lutheran belief where nobody can buy a piece of heaven." I said, that's when the concept of the metaverse was born, where somebody said, "I'm going to sell you real estate that is surreal. That's, in the ether."
In your imagination, whether you choose to believe or not, right? And it's that's actually a really, really, really deep point. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, except our God, we'll have many different metaverse. So much like different religions, when you think about it.
Well, they do, exactly.
Pray to Mark. People could pray to Mark, and other could pray to, Snoop Dogg and Sandlot, and
Sandbox, exactly. But look, it's actually really interesting, and there's another project that we're actually spawning off the ground. We were on a Twitter post yesterday. We got a project called Human Park, which really taps into what you're talking about now. And what I feel like is really interesting about that is it's identity of self, right? Who am I? And right now, who I am in this moment is a reflection of what you think of me, right? And we changed. Like, I've changed my hairstyle. I've got a beard now. Once I had a goatee, once I had, sideburns. Once, we go through transitions in time as well, fashionable, but also belief systems, to your point, right? Maybe I was religious once, maybe I'm different religion now. We change, and we're constantly evolving as humans. So this digital layer, this facade on top of it is just a digital layer. What lies beneath it is the human traits and phenomenons that drive us daily, our basic needs and of belonging, tribalism. Who am I? Who am I in 2 years' time? I don't know. Am I the same person? But those things are going to echo into the digital space, which they do already. When you're playing Grand Theft Auto, people are doing role playing there, pretending to be something they ain't, but still hanging out with people who they feel or they connect with, right? Tribalism and birds of a feather and all that speak. So it's really, it's deep.
And that's the wonderful thing about it, is that it could be deep, or you could just skim on top of it and be like a mega mass corporation going like, shit, yeah, I could sell my Nike track pants on the metaverse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're going
and then
okay.
And maybe you can only buy those special Nike track pants by actually going through into the game, buying them. Then 2 weeks later, they're sent to your door in the real world, right? Like,
because
playing that kind of game.
We see that happening in games anyways. Kids. People are like, "Oh, you want to have a special costume for your character in the latest Assassin's Creed? Pay me."
Yes.
Going like, I'm customizing an avatar of myself. And I love how all the avatars are always like either super fit Like I want to see slob avatars.
Well, check out you need to check out Human Park, bro. You need to check it out because we're playing on those tropes.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to send you a link, and you'll have to drop a link in the the chat, whatever the show notes. But yeah, we're having fun with that as well, and we're kind of playing along those tropes as well, being different, you know, and also playing to, you know, not everybody's a Disney character, right? Like to your point, you know, I don't have those. Yeah, but hey, to your point as well, like Fortnite, right?
Oh,
what's the business model? What's the business model? Here's a free game. But my son has spent more than $800 on that free game. He spent more money than ever before on any other game because of the skins and the self-identity and the trends and the belonging and the, you know, that human need. So
yeah, like it's the but it arcs back down to exactly the human need, the compunction to kind of differentiate ourselves, but yet be part of a community.
Yeah, but it's no different than wearing $300 sneakers, right?
Shit, I don't remember the last time I paid more than $100 for a pair of shoes.
But even $100 sneakers, right? It's like you buying them because there's something driving you to buy that and become. All right, now I'm wearing the Air Force Ones, right? The white Air Force Ones. That whole trend, right? Mm-hmm. The Converse, you know, and you're belonging, you're self-identifying. The Rolex watches, the Gucci bags, anything, man. It's nothing new. But to your point, I guess just to bring it back to the horses and bring it back to what.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the problem about the metaverse. It's fucking huge. By the way, you can swear, eh?
Okay, cool.
Explicit. You know, we're accepting people for who they are. So if you don't feel like swearing, don't swear.
I get passionate. I can swear. But to just to wrap all that up that we just went into, you're putting all this money into games like Fortnite or these other games out there. You don't own anything. It sits in the company. It sits in the rental system underneath their umbrella and their servers, right? With NFTs, you now own the digital asset. It's true digital asset ownership. If you now own the skin in Fortnite and it was an NFT, you could sell that off and make money. Like it's a new means of wealth distribution. It's you know, there's a lot of debate out there now, you know, especially with the recent Ubisoft kind of backlash. They tried to push their NFTs on people, and people just weren't having it. And then their retort in the press wasn't great either. But it's not about replacing, like I mentioned before, Web3 isn't replacing Web2. It's just a new means of games are going to be created now, where play to earn economies exist because of NFTs and blockchain. We're not replacing the games we have today. They will still exist. Gamers will still play. Yeah. But there's an opportunity now, just like Twitch and YouTube and TikTok and Vines gave opportunity to people who wanted to put themselves out there and be actors or performers.
Absolutely. And going back to like you guys' idea is like, you've taken actually something that I know in Australia, horse racing is big. I know in certain parts of the US, horse racing is big. Canada, not so much. But that I have my girlfriend like worked a year in Australia, and she's going like, yeah, horse racing. It's like everybody gets posh, and it's only like the rich families. It's like the Kentucky Derby. It's like the creme de la creme. And then it's like they put on their Sunday best, and then they go to the racetrack and get shit faced and and look as trashy as can be after. But you've actually boiled it down to almost like going to the racetrack and just betting, and betting is for everybody. It's a game. That's what it is.
And just to, we're not betting yet. It's a game of skill right now. So, you know, obviously that's kind of a natural progression where maybe we'll see ourselves go. But at this stage now, to your point, we're about democratizing that racehorse ownership, right? Like if you go to the tracks, anybody can go to the races, right? But you're standing there and and then yes, if you're a punter, you're putting some money down, and then you're watching these races of horses that you don't even own or know anything about. And you look up into the box seats and you see the owners, and there's a very fair few owners there. And to your point, they're the creme de la creme. They're the richie riches. So the whole idea was to disrupt that and give and democratize horse racing ownership so that anyone can come in, get a horse, breed horses, get that kind of feeling of what it means to breed a super horse or a good racer or a good marathon runner, and just have the experience of owning a stake in the game, right? When the race is on and you own one of those, it's a different experience than just watching 12 horses that you don't own, because now you're emotionally attached and you're involved, you're engaged, right? And even from the lowest level of, like, we used to have 2D dot racing, just dots going up the screen as a first prototype. Even that, because you owned one of those dots, you were kind of invested, like, hey, that's mine, yeah, come on, horsey. Whereas now, when they're like 3D beasts, like the one behind me, and they have emotion and they can move and express themselves, like have real horse mannerism and traits, it just next levels up. And then, before going into a rabbit hole with you here, imagine with AR and VR, machine learning, how we can bring now these horses to life and really make you feel like you're, you might have to wash and feed them. I kid you not. I know.
And that's the crazy fucked up part about it, is that it's going crazy like that. And like the Olympics just finished, and I know they were entertaining the Olympic Committee, bunch of corrupt bastards anyways, but they were entertaining how e-games are going to come, and esports and this and that. And I was talking to one of my buddies, Jeff, that actually turned me on to your company. And he goes, think about it in 10 years when there'll be there'll be Olympic level sports, and they won't be sitting at a computer, because the game will have evolved that they'll have to have human reaction skills. So they'll have a more human interface.
Yeah.
And he says, that's where it's going. At a certain point.
I agree.
And then that's our reality. That's not even my reality. That's like going to be my children's reality. And I'm going to be like, I remember when I saw it like that. And they're going to be like, no, shut up, Dad. You don't remember. You don't know jack shit, because we're 16 and you're ancient.
Yeah, you're old now.
And then I'm going to be like, I remember a time when we actually had to learn how to shock put. Now you're doing it virtually.
Yeah, you're doing virtually with the power-ups.
It's so wild time.
Yeah, no, to that point, I actually jokingly say, but it's not jokingly, when people, I'm a digital guy. I grew up playing video games. It's what's brought me to the space, obviously. And well, not obviously, but in terms of reflecting back on my kind of childhood, it is. And my 8-year-old son, like I said, I let him play video games. I let him play anything he wants, basically. Well, of course, within balance. And I jokingly say I'm training him for the Olympics in 10 years. Because, to your point, their esports is going to become, video games should be an Olympic, like, what's the difference? It's a game of skill and it's a sport. It's no different than darts or ski shooting or whatever. And look what the evolution of, you got Red Bull Olympic sports now, right? You got BMX, you got skateboarding in there. I think breakdancing's coming next year in Paris. I believe that's the new one they're adding, breakdancing, which is super cool, man. B-boying and breakdancing in the Olympics. Like, dope for those people who have spent all their years mastering that, and now they can get an Olympic gold medal for it. Like,
I'm thinking of the outrageous costumes we're going to see.
Yes. But then, but that next evolutionary step is going to be digital for sure. And why not have a Fortnite Olympic final battle royale? I mean, Jesus. Yeah.
And we're just going to have severe laws on the stimulants that they'll be allowed. No, I'm just going to do a bump. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it happens in real world sport too, man. Like, don't want to mention any names, Tour de France.
Nah. Those guys are clean. They're all a bunch of wholesome guys on their bikes.
Yeah, man. They just ride a lot.
When you guys, and I'm going to delve a little bit into the finance side, because I read your company, I followed your stuff, and then I was looking back and I said, holy shit, these guys got 20 million USD in July. How did that feel? Like, going like, okay, we just closed this deal.
Well,
it's got to be a moment of surrealism.
Yeah, we have to stop and pat ourselves on the back, but we're just not content, man. Like, it is surreal. It's still surreal today. Like, when you talk about it, I still can't I don't feel like I'm letting it trigger me because, like you said, like before, I'm still in my bedroom, right? And I'm in my bedroom for reasons because it's functional, but also, but also just because, man, we've got so much work to do, right? And if people believe, if these investors come to the table and they believe in us, we got to fucking make sure that we deliver. And we're still kind of lacing up for the dash, right? Yes, we've had our head start. We were early movers. We were doing this back in 2017, where you barely could sell an NFT. Now, if you do an NFT project, they sell off instantly, right? So it's a totally different time. There's a bubble that's going to burst, but once that bubble bursts, we'll still be standing because we've got utility, we've got this platform, we've laid the groundwork, and we know what we're building. So to that point, again, it's like, yes, it's humbling as fuck, man. It's amazing, right? But we still got so much work to do that I don't want to be distracted by that. I don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to buy into that kind of hype and this. And so what we're doing is we're hiring a shitload of talent. We're building out the company. To your point as well, we recently just bought a digital studio here in Sydney, like some really, really talented people, Spectre Studios, like we've brought them in, which is super huge investment, but that's also to bring the fidelity across, this kind of fidelity behind me to Zed as well, but also diversifying, not putting all our eggs in one basket, right? Like as a company, business model, we don't only want to be focused on Zed and the golden goose, which is our golden goose, mind you, it's what's got us here. But we're also then exploring these other games like Human Park, which I mentioned, which is also something that's coming off the ground. And if you look at it from I guess, a business model, there are two different business models. One is fully just a game immersive metaverse, and of course Zed is horse racing, esports. It's got that component that it can go into in terms of potentially betting if that was the case. So it's about also diversifying as a business model and growing. So there's a lot being done behind the scenes, hiring new people, getting them on the ground. So we've still got, like, I think, good 6 months ahead of us where we're kind of going to go through this teething and growth, like going from, I guess, where we started off being 10 people like 2 years ago, right? And now we're almost 150, 160 people.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit, brother.
I don't even know half the people we're hiring, bro. So it's like now you're handing over trust and you're not sitting in on these. But you trust the people we put in the room.
It's like the most white knuckling experience. Every time you start something, you start a company, you start something, and then you slowly have to like give a little piece away. And it's not like and people always, okay, he's talking about money or he's talking about shares. No, it's that all of a sudden you have to accept as a founder, that a co-founder, that you're not going to be able to be physically at every meeting, and you might not even be useful. Like, do you want to go sit in HR and review the policies with them? No. No. But you still got to be able to be like, okay, I trust this person.
Exactly. It's trusting people with the baby that you've raised, right? And that you've kind of given life to. And so, there comes a time where they have to leave the nest, I guess. But at the same time, it's just different. And because you're used to making every decision creatively as well, and you see things and call them out. And, but it's fun. And so, to your point, yes, it's amazing that we're in this position. We're super humbled and blessed, and we just got so much work to do. And I think, and we owe it to our community, and we owe it to our players and users out there. Like, we're still in beta. We're still very early in where we are. The promise of this game is, to me, it's logic. It's like, it's there, you can see it, but you got to be willing to also just be patient, because it's going to take some time to get all those pieces of the puzzle and the groundwork ready, a strong foundation, so that we then can do all these things we're doing. And we're trying and testing things as we go as well, right? You have to put stuff out there, get the feedback. All right, we iterate, and so on and so forth. So that can be a bit grueling as well, but that's the process.
So when you, I'm assuming, when you told your parents, your family, everything, what you were doing, I'm guaranteeing there was a big what the fuck, like, they were going, especially like, okay.
especially back in 2007 or 2017, 18, 19, when we were talking about this, right? And just for a perspective there, I was working at a university, the technical university here in Sydney. I had a really big position, leading up an academy of innovation and creative like ideation with emerging technologies. And so I was aware of crypto, and I was aware of the AR, the VR. I'm still a storyteller and a game maker at heart, you know what I mean? And a visual artist. And so when I even told people back then, they were just like, no. And I gave up that, you know, what people in those kind of, what you're referring to, family, they say that's a real job versus the stuff I've been doing for like 15 years being a freelance digital artist. That's not a real job. Nah. Anyway, entrepreneuring, nah. But anyway, so fast forward to today, everybody knows what an NFT is, right? Because it's the three letters that are heard around the world, basically. And so now people go, oh, okay. Having said that, my mom was one of the first people I got to buy horses. When we were selling those horses and nobody was buying them, I said to my mom, I said, yo, you should probably buy a couple, man, because I believe in it, and why not invest in your son? Like,
you pulled that card? You pulled that card?
No, but no, but like, I actually, it's like, I said, this is not financial advice, Mom, but you know, she got a Z2 for like a couple of $100 because that's what they cost back then. Those are like, they're easily 15 grand now. They're easily 15, 20 grand now. So she's made an investment by holding this thing. And I don't think she's raced it yet either. And I've told her to not do that. I said, keep it on, like, it's like a Star Wars toy that you haven't unpacked. Keep it in its box. Keep it, and just wait till we grow up to the business to be, and you have one of those. I think you're going to be in a good position. So, but she, you know, she's got a stable and she races. She sends me videos when she's won races and stuff. So it's pretty sweet. Like, and she's getting into Web3 technology. She understands MetaMask and transferring Ethereum over, putting it in your like wrapping ETH. You know, like that's for a 70-year-old lady. I'm very impressed by her. So, but you know, a bit of hand holding along the way. But that's part of also, I guess, for us, for me, the research is if I can get her to do it, right? If she gets it, now we can get other people. You know, that's like. No
Absolutely.
offense.
No, but hey, first of all, kudos to your mom. I still have to explain that, you know, to my father that, you know, when you shut this, you flip down the screen, you know, it's nothing bad's going to happen. Or you could read, you know, if you could access your Google, your Gmail everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just to your
just make sure he logs out of his Google account if he's afraid of people coming in and snooping around.
Oh man, no. Well, we're talking, yeah, but that's our parents' generation. They still remember, and they still go to the bank. My dad still goes to the bank to get a transfer, or to like his and I got to give him props. He goes, he says, I go, and he'll never say because he doesn't understand how to do e-transfer. No, I go because these people have jobs, and I'm keeping their jobs relevant.
You know what? Just on a sidetrack there. When I go to the shops and buy food, groceries, I never go to those self-checkouts. I'll always go to where the cashier is. For that reason as well. And also just like, I just don't want, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit special there, but I just want to meet the person there is doing her job, his or her job. And I think that's just part of it.
Here's a crazy idea. No, but here's a crazy idea is because you're completely like, you're very immersed in the metaverse. You're very immersed in that whole reality. But could you say that there's still a yearning for the contact, like the physical thing, like that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want anymore because
he's a lizard man.
Exactly, he's a lizard man, and he actually now has a third dimension to his personality in the metaverse.
Yeah.
But I think even though we become very metaverse oriented, that human contact and just having two people side by side playing your game, you know, it probably happens all the time.
Yeah, and this is what's so awesome. Like, to your point, yes, it's all about balance. Just because you play a shitload of video games, the other stuff you'd be doing then to offset that, you better be going outside and running, climbing trees, playing basketball, whatever, jumping in the ocean, bushwalks, bike riding, meeting people, right? You gotta meet real people. Like, we can't get lost in these digital spaces, which is, it's already happening, right? You know, like kids in fucking, dare I say if I get it wrong, but in Korea somewhere, you know, dying because they played World of Warcraft for 4 days in a row. Right, it's nonstop, and just sat there and then got dehydrated and malnourished and fell over dead. right? Like shit like that is already happening because of digital. It comes down to, again, the human behind the digital. Like, are you going to get addicted or are you not? Same with drugs. Like, I'm a big believer that drugs should be, I mean, unpopular opinion, probably all drugs should be legal, because then we can treat the human at the human level, not at the fucking drug, right? You got to treat him, because I'm not going to get addicted as much as X over there, so he needs the help, not me, just as an example.
No,
Sidetracked again.
no, but you're right.
Yeah.
And that's a very healthy glimpse of the human psyche as we're going in the digital world. Is
Exactly.
that a balance? If you're an addictive personality, you're going to get addicted
Yes.
to whatever.
Exactly.
And we may see some people get addicted to sports. It's still, quote unquote, it looks good, but it's still an addiction.
Still addiction, yeah. It's still not a great balance. It's not healthy. Like,
yeah,
like someone like, again, the late great Kobe Bryant, who was an amazing. He was addicted to basketball. He was passionate about being the best, and he came across a bit crazy, right? Manic. And so did Michael Jordan. He wanted to win so bad that he came across crazy and punched his teammates. So there's examples out there of people going way too far, and they became great, right? Same with musicians. I mean, Kanye West is a genius musician.
Yeah,
he's fucking, crazy.
He's fucking crazy. He's like, absolutely crazy.
You don't go call yourself God without being just a bit kooky. But anyway, so there's those examples, like, the geniuses that go that far. It's just again, human phenomenon, human psyche. That's where we have to meet people. It doesn't matter if you layer it with drugs or if you layer it with digital media or layer it with going to the movies or sports or activities. It's all about balance, right? So yeah,
and
this.
Yeah, no, look, man. There's no topic is off topic. All is good. That's because the idea is that one of the things that we wanted to do with the Invercio is that what we going on exactly riffing on what you said. People are attracted by feeling like they can understand others, and that's why. Why would a company like invest? Why would somebody invest in your company? It's not because necessarily just your pitch. Your pitch has to be good, but if they can relate to you, be like, nah, he's on to something. Well, that's part of the human experience.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. You don't invest in a product, you invest in a team, right?
Yeah.
The humans behind the product.
And after that, that's it. Because when we think about it, any daunting task that's happened in the world had to be solved by one person going into other person being like, we're gonna construct this huge clock tower in London. Why? Think about it. Why is it there? It's a huge, so everybody could see the time.
Yeah, and it's a flex.
And everybody be going like, this is insane. This is the why.
Yeah.
But it happened because people said, I think he's onto something. Yeah. Or so everything boils down like you said earlier. History repeats itself, and people are engaged in projects. People like projects, and you guys got a great, like the beginning, the primordial juice of a great company. Like, it's already great. Many people have already said it's great, and now you're in the very difficult position and lucky position of saying, awesome, now just watch me. Yeah, just watch us go.
100%. So they're all eyes on us now. Like to your point, and back to that, we got invested in, awesome, but then it also puts the magnifying glass on you, right? And you go, all right, it's time to kind of lace them up and really show your A game now. And so that's what we're doing. And it's going to take some time, but yeah, we are humbled beyond and blessed beyond. But that's just, and we're excited, man. We love what we do. We're just fucking passionate about it, bro. Like, there's nothing better than being kind of, we're and it's so new, this space, that we're laying the tracks as we're running, and we're making a lot of mistakes, but we're learning, and you have to make mistakes. We applaud making mistakes, as long as you just get up and you don't make the same mistake again, right? You get up and you do it again, and we learn. That's how experience is your best teacher. You win some, you learn some, all those kind of trope cliche sayings, but it's facts, man. Like, because there is no framework for building a play to earn blockchain game yet, and we are one of the first companies to do so at this level. So, and we aim to just keep going, and people will be able to build off our learnings, and that's amazing. That's amazing. You're going to see so much spawn from just this early days.
Oh, it's like the future is unwritten and it's wild. But what is, if I can ask you this, what is the thing that scares you the most about this potential road? Because there's tons of upside, there's tons of great discoveries, there's tons of unknown, uncharted territory. But after that, there's also the other side going like, okay, are we touching on things that we shouldn't? Are we like, what scares you about?
I mean, I, yeah, I guess morals and ethics and stuff like that, touching on things that we shouldn't. But I don't think we're doing that. I think actually, I kind of love our approach. I think where our morals and ethics are right. It's about democratization, letting everybody get a piece of the pie. I'm really big on play to earn economies. Giving back wealth to the players if they, and as so the more you play, the more you can generate an income, right? Like I'm really, and again, it's no different, just to kind of pack it in, it's no different than what YouTube did for the content makers, right? It's no different than what Vine did for the Jake Paul brothers, whatever, right? Like they took advantage of something new, which was Web 2, right? This is where this, and to your how we started, the opportunities in this Web3 space are huge, right? Especially when you have cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and NFTs being that fundamental backbone of the fuel and the economy in these spaces, right? Now, I think what scares me is the dickhead humans taking advantage of other people. That sucks, and there's so much of that happening right now. So you got to be careful out there. I'll put that PSA out there, right? That there's so many people just trying to make a quick buck, and that sucks. And that's why we're getting all these. This bubble's going to burst, but those people will get those. That's what happens everywhere, man. It happened in the art. It happens in the art world. It happens in the fashion world. It happens fucking everywhere. Like people are always going to look to hustle. Again, it's not about what it is, it's about the people behind it. It comes back to that human psyche behind it, right? Who's leading this project? Is he a fucking psycho? Then he's going to do stupid things and take advantage of people who don't know better.
That's absolutely it. And that's it. That's like it goes back to the ethos of the people behind the project. And you guys, like what you're doing, because you could easily quickly monetize this, be betting, and then boom, be like, yeah,
exactly. No, we're a game of skill, man. We're a game of skill. It's about the players. It's about the community. It's about empowering our players. And, there's a few out there that probably don't see it the long run as well. And we hear there's a few creaky wheels out there that always aren't satisfied, and that's okay. We're happy with that because that fuels us even more. But it's a long game, and as long as your morals and ethics are right, it'll come back to that. And it's about decentralization, man. That is what this space is, right? Decentralized economies, and if we start kind of doing rug pulls and doing shit like that, we're just taking advantage of that ethos and those ideals, and that's not us. So that's why we're still here with our horses.
Though, you know what? I saw the horses, and I was actually like going, that is a very fine looking digital horse. I was going like, they are really cool. They didn't, it's got that, your marketing is like, your branding is on point. It feels digital, and that's what you're going for.
Exactly. Like there's a whole backstory and lore, like and this is something I want to unleash as well in our product. We're just not ready yet, but it's taking you to this metaverse, this Novus Earth, as I call it, which is this parallel universe where these horses and digital beasts exist. There's a whole, I've written a lot about them, and to your point, I really appreciate that you say, like, you can see that horse behind me and you can look at it and you go, that's a Zed horse, because it's got the faceted look, and it's really important to us that it is recognizable. But I can't wait to unleash the rest of it.
I feel be careful. Disney's got a very long arm. They own just about everything.
They do. But they, you know, again, then we have to be true to our word of decentralization and try to stay in our lane, you know?
I, and you know what? I'm going to wish you honestly to keep on, keep on riding in that direction. You know,
Thanks, man.
it's rare and rare do I come across companies that are fresh, that are young, that are actually like trying for things that at first on a surface level looks completely crazy, but then when you start digging and you start looking at the guts and going like, no, this is all good. This is all, to use a pun, an expression from the 50s, this is all clean fun.
Yeah.
It's clean fun. It's good, clean fun. It's not, it's not like we can say, it's not like EA that, that wants to, pilfer all your wallet for for stuff that's just ridiculous stuff, or it's not Activision or these guys. This is just clean fun and entertaining.
Yeah, and I think we're so lucky that we're in this innovative space because there's no innovation without risk. And like to my point, we're taking a lot of risks always. This was a risk. This was a risk from when we started it, and we made a lot of mistakes, and we still do, and that's part of risk taking and part of learning. So yeah, I appreciate it. And to a point too, like, I mean, you can pick at our product too, and you can see that we've got partnerships like, we've got partnerships with Atari and NASCAR, and we did partnerships with Stella, and it goes, and then people, you can look at that and go, oh man, they're selling out. But then I go back, no. Remember, this is for the people. This is for the users. These partnerships aren't about us necessarily making more bank. It's well, we will as well. It helps us. It positions us, but it also positions you as the user who owns the digital asset, who is bought into the system, who has got something that has tangible wealth tied to it. It is upping your value and it's giving you more to play for. That's where those kind of partnerships come in. It's not about, to your point, we're just not a corporation that just keeping it all ourselves. That's not what P2E is. That's not what play to earn is. It's that's not what just decentralization is. It's about sharing that wealth, and I think that's what's exciting. That's what gets pumps me up.
Honestly, like I said, it's keep on going. And Chris, absolute pleasure talking with you.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
We gotta, I gotta either go to Australia. You gotta come down to Montreal. We can have a beer.
I need to see Montreal. I need to come. I forgot to get my coffee ready. I actually just had one before, so I did have my coffee. But I want to see Montreal. I've heard great things. One of my really a good friend from the digital industry called Mathieu Demuro. He's from Montreal. He used to work at Ubisoft there. Awesome guy. I know they have an awesome graffiti scene over there. I know they have just an awesome culture. It's just I've heard great things.
It's amazing. But one of my brothers lived in Australia for 2 years, and I hear Australia is just absolutely worth seeing it. And honestly, right now, I would take your heat over my cold in a heartbeat. It's minus fucking 22 out there.
Yeah. Okay. Stay inside. Rug up. I feel you.
Man, absolutely pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for making this happen.
Hey, thank you for making it happen. You guys are busy. You guys keep going at it, and Virtually Human, nothing but good stuff going to be coming out in the future. I got a feeling about it.
Yeah, no, keep your eyes peeled. There's a lot coming, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, buddy.
All right, my man. You take care.
Peace.
Ciao.